My wife has gone so far into her online conspiracy rabbit hole that she has completely changed for the worse, and now spends all day arguing and scrolling on hate groups. How can I save our marriage? Posted by u/loud_@_9189. I, 36M, have been married to my wife, 34F, for 6 years. We have a 4-year-old daughter, and I really don't want a divorce, but I'm starting to feel like I've run out of options. When we first met, my wife was a kind, brilliant and outgoing person. Over the past few years, she's changed in ways that really scare me. She's become very involved in online conspiracy spaces and online hate groups and now spends hours every day scrolling and arguing online. It's like she's living in a different reality. She hasn't held a stable job in about 3 years. She'll take on part-time work but ends up quitting or getting fired after a few months. Meanwhile, I've become the sole provider and have also taken on most of the parenting. Our daughter loves her mom, but my wife often seems distracted or disengaged, and it breaks my heart to see that. Another issue is she has become more racist over time. It started as an obsessive dislike of a certain celebrity, but it's turned into outright racist comments, particularly toward women of color. She's lost several friendships because of it, and even her family has started to distance themselves. They still check in on me and our daughter, but they've made it clear they don't know how to reach her anymore. I've begged her to try therapy. She actually did for a few months once, and for a little while, I saw glimpses of the person she used to be. But she quit, and everything went back to the way it was. I'm emotionally exhausted and worried about the environment our daughter is growing up in. I don't want her picking up these beliefs or thinking this level of disconnection is normal. That said, I'm also terrified of what divorce might do to her. I always believed in trying everything before walking away, and I don't want to feel like I gave up too soon. That's why I'm thinking about asking my wife to go to couples therapy. Maybe she'd be more open to it since it won't be just her? My question is, how do I even bring this up? Would it be wrong to tell her that I'm considering divorce if she refuses? I don't want it to sound like a threat, I just want her to understand how serious things have gotten. I love her and want to believe there's still a way forward, but I can't keep doing this by myself. If anyone has been in a similar situation with a partner who's fallen deep into conspiracies or become resistant to therapy, how did you approach it? I really want to try everything I can before making such a painful decision. Commenter 1. Deprogramming people from cults is extremely difficult. She will not understand or recognize that she has an issue. She will become further entrenched the more you try to pull her out. If it was me, I'd be documenting all of her extreme behaviors, racism, inability to hold work, the fact you're the main parent, loss of social and family networks, etc., documenting that thoroughly. Divorcing her and filing for full custody of your kid. Your daughter does not need to be surrounded by egregious behavior. Your first priority should be protecting your kid. Commenter 2. You face what I did with my brother. Unfortunately, the main problem with all things conspiratorial is the cult members are programmed to reject absolutely everything that refutes their positions. Counseling will only work if she realizes she has an issue. And you can't really use it as a lever because there is just no way she will respond to the stick without automatically concluding that you are part of the cabal, deep state, them, that is out to get her and her cult members. It did not end remotely well with my brother. We are permanently estranged. OP, I was afraid to hear this. She isn't exactly QAnon. She used to be liberal, but she is now strongly anti-vax, thinking of homeschooling our daughter because the education system is grooming kids or whatever, anti-government, anti-Meghan Markle, it's a long list. Sorry about your brother. Commenter 3. Everyone is going to tell you to just divorce now, but if you really want to keep trying, I would frame it as her being too online. Don't question her insane conspiracy theories. Don't point out that she's become racist. Frame it as you are feeling disconnected as a couple because of how much time she spends online. Say you are worried that you both are setting a bad example for your daughter and you don't want her growing up thinking being glued to a screen is normal. Propose a digital diet for both of you, just like you'd propose a healthier diet to a partner. Tell her you'd like to do a 3-month, or 1 month, or whatever she'll agree to, experiment where you both radically reduce your time online. Take away your Wi-Fi router and put it in a lockbox. Change your phone plans to text and calls only, no data, or get burner flip phones. Sign up to get the local newspaper so you can stay on top of local events. If you can get her to agree to this and stick to it, take it as an opportunity to get her out touching grass and associating with new people again. Join a book club together. Take classes together. Maybe if she can disconnect and rejoin the world, she'll have a chance. They are few and far between, but there are occasional stories of hope. OP, thank you for the suggestions. I've tried encouraging her to spend less time online and more time as a couple/family before, but she immediately shut down that idea. I'll make the effort to do it again and frame it in the way you suggested. I'll also ask for advice on the QAnon causalties sub as they seem to have more experience dealing with what I'm currently going through. Update, 4 months later. Some of you helped me accept a reality I had been avoiding for a long time. My soon-to-be ex-wife was not going to get better, and I had to act to protect my daughter. I also want to specifically thank those who pointed me to the QAnon casualties sub. Reading other families' stories and seeing how similar the patterns were was incredibly validating. It helped me understand that this wasn't something I could love or wait my way out of. I took the advice of some commenters and started documenting my ex's neglect of our daughter, her racism and extreme beliefs, and reached out to a divorce lawyer. I checked on our joint bank accounts as advised and discovered that she had been withdrawing large sums of money from a joint account we opened early in our marriage for family vacations, etc., and that we had discussed using to eventually set up a college fund for our daughter when she was born. When I confronted her, she initially denied taking the money. When I demanded she show me where the money went, she went on a long rant about creating a better world. She admitted she had donated money to organizations like TPUSA, claiming they would create better schools and keep kids safe. She had also spent a significant amount on designer handbags, shoes, and clothing that she had hidden from me. The craziest thing is she was also being scammed by someone she met through some royal gossip subreddit who claimed to have hired a private investigator to expose Meghan Markle. Apparently, this person would send her negative articles about Meghan Markle and claim that the private investigator had discovered this information and sent it to the press, and my wife would send more money. She told me all of this as if it were completely reasonable and saw nothing wrong with it. I told her I was filing for divorce, and at first she thought I was joking, but then exploded at me and began throwing things while ranting about me breaking up the family. A glass cup she threw hit me in the head. I left the house bleeding and went to my neighbors, who called the police. She had trashed the kitchen by the time the police showed up, and they arrested her after I explained what happened. I applied for and was granted a domestic violence restraining order, along with temporary custody of my daughter. My wife currently has supervised visitation only. She is facing a misdemeanor criminal charge related to the domestic battery incident, which is being handled in criminal court alongside the ongoing divorce proceedings. She is currently living with a former coworker, and her family has reached out to express support for me and my daughter. I am in the middle of divorce proceedings, and my lawyer believes I have a strong case for sole custody. This isn't how I ever imagined things ending, but I'm grateful I listened to the advice here when I did. My priority now is my daughter's safety, stability, and emotional well-being. Thank you to everyone who helped push me to act. Commenter: I rarely ever comment on these, but man, I'm so sorry for this happening to you. But also so bewildered to discover there is an entire Meghan Markle hate to alt-right racist pipeline. What? Edit: you guys' stories lol, what the fudge. I just never really thought about Meghan Markle beyond oh neat she married Prince Harry and has a boring Netflix show? Commenter 2: my Korean mom is a Trump supporter and she watches Meghan Markle hate videos. I got into a small argument with her because the video she was watching was of a woman repeating the same sentence over and over again. Apparently crossed her legs in a car and took a picture, and the picture was taken near the bridge Diana died, and that was disrespectful to Prince Harry. I told my mom that was fake and was nowhere near the bridge, and why the fudge would she care if she did? She got mad and said she likes to stay informed. People are dying, mother.